Hello everyone. So today I'm going to be guiding you through quickly the SpotMap MS install procedure for anyone that is wanting to trial the software or anyone that's purchased a license. This is how you get started with installing and using and activating the license for the software. So in the vast majority of install situations, you'll be sent a link to a TotalLab internal website, and you will be able to download whichever version is the current version of SpotMap MS, and you will get this zip file here. Now, I'm using a completely clean virtual machine here. It's got Windows 11 Enterprise Edition on, but there's no prerequisites or anything that you need to install to use the software and start working. So I've just received my download link from TotalLab. I'm very happy I've purchased a license. I want to get straight into the software. Once you've finished downloading the exe into your, the zip file into your downloads folder, if you just right click and extract all just straight here, the software, it'll take a couple of, well, depending on the power of your computer, against the virtual machine, so it's not the world's most powerful computer, it'll take a little bit of time to complete. And especially the install process, I know because I've tested it on this virtual machine, takes a little bit of time, so I will actually speed that up, because it would be extremely boring for you to hear me rattle on whilst it's installing. So this is all on Windows, no prerequisites, nothing additional. It's a pretty simple and easy to install piece of software. So we're nearly there. So at this point, the software, Windows itself, will open the extracted folder within our downloads folder, and we've got our resources, which contains all of our demo data and all of our install data, and the exe to install the software. Double click this. Again, depending on your the structure, the IT structure within your organization, you may need to get IT admins involved with this. It completely depends on the kind of security structure that you're working in. If it's big pharma, if it's academic, they're very different, levels of permissions required to install software. You click agree to the license terms and conditions and install it. Yes, I do want to install the software. So one thing to note is, if you can within your institution, install it under the user account that's going to be using the software most of the time. So, whoever is in charge of your LCMS HCP workflow, whoever's going to be routinely using the software to perform their work, it's easiest to install it under their username if possible. Now, sometimes security permissions don't allow that. It has to be, an IT admin, something like that. Can work around that. The only issue is, when you install it as an IT admin, it can lock the license behind like an admin account. It can make it so that you are required to be an admin to launch the software, so there can be a little bit of a mismatch with the licensing. We can get around that perfectly fine, but we want to make this as smooth as possible for you. So if you can install it under the account that's going to be using it all the time, that should make things slightly easier and avoid that potential security issue and you having to change the permissions on the license files. So now the software is completed successfully, simply close this window down, open up our taskbar, and we should be able to see we've got SpotMap MS installed within our list of installed apps, and we also get a shortcut by default on our desktop. Either of these can be used to access the software. So if we just give this a double click, the software will begin to load. Again, loading speed, general operating speed of the software is dependent on how powerful your computer is. I'm running a VM and a laptop, so there's not many resources to go around. So on first use of the software, you're going to have to enter your license key, whether you've got a trial license or a full license. The process is exactly the same. Now, I'm going to use the online activation method here for this particular video. I may do a separate offline activation method explanation, tutorial guide, whatever you want to call it. But right now, I'll keep it with online activation, but we do support offline activation for air-gapped computers. I'm going to paste in my activation code, which would have been provided from TotalLab, of course. Click on activate, and if the activation is successful, you'll get this activation complete notification, and then you're free to run through the software. Now, I'm not going to go through a demo of the software or anything. I'm probably going to do separate videos on that are more focused, but this is the software activated, installed, working correctly. We can open our demo data sets that the software comes preloaded with. So if you are trialing this and you don't have any of your own data to put into the software, you can still trial it with the demo data and see how the software works and how it processes your LC-MS traces, automates your detection of post-cell proteins. You can see it's done that really quickly there because that's just a one trace sample, but it's pulled out all of my high-risk proteins, identified them right at the top and dumped them straight into a report, so I can see immediately what is in my sample, how dangerous is it, what does it do, so is it immunogenic? Is it immunogenic? Does it affect drug quality? Is that some kind of lipase that's going to break down, or affect the storage of this drug? Things like that, and then we can just run through all the different sections of the software, perform our matches, look at the quality of our traces, blah blah blah, export reports for LIMS systems or QMS systems, or to send to someone else, things like that. So I'm not going to depart too far away from the core point of this video, which is that is how you install SpotMap MS. It's very easy. Extract the zip to the download location, run it as any of the installer on Windows, wait for it to finish, open the software, paste your activation key in, click activate, and away we go.